Good afternoon, Sierra Vista Eagles. Thank you so much for joining us. This is just to let you know we are recording this, so we will be posting it for all of our families on Class Dojo. So today I'm going to go over some school updates on things that are going on here at Sierra Vista, and then I will pass it over to Ms. Palicio. You want to wave, Ms. Palicio, say hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
And she'll give us a little bit of EL information on master plan option programs. And then I will be handing it over to Mr. Romo, our special ed AP. You want to say hello, Mr. Romo?
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Sierra Vista parents.
So we'll go ahead and get started because I know your time is valuable and try to get through this as smooth as possible. So next slide, Ms. Palicio, please.
All right.
So what's been going on at Sierra Vista? We've got a lot of stuff going on since we've been back. We've been back ready to go since January 11th. One of the items I do want to remind all of my parents is to make sure that you are checking in on our Class Dojo, because that is where I am posting the most up-to-date information on everything that is going on. As you all know, we are paperless now. Everything is virtual. So that is where we post the most up-to-date information and flyers or anything that you need to know. Also, a lot of things are going to be changing, so please make sure that your parent portal is up to date and that you can access it. If for some reason you still are unable to access your parent portal, please call the main office so that we can get you started on that, as that is where you will be getting notifications of positive cases and all that you need to know in terms of what's going on here at Sierra Vista as well. And the last thing I do want to tell you, as of last week, we have a new website, which is our COVID report card. So if you go to achieve.lausd.net /COVID report card, this website will give you the most up-to-date information on numbers. You can look us up by Sierra Vista to know how many positive cases we have. And so this website is a very, very important website for you to have, as it gives us all also up-to-date information as it is changing from week to week. So one of the things I want you all to be looking out for is unsat notices that may be coming home this week. If you do get one, please take the time to set up an appointment with your child's teacher so we can help assist you to make sure that your child is doing the best that they can here at school and supporting them however we can here at Sierra Vista. Also, intervention is starting. We are going to be starting up February 14th, so be on the lookout. Not all classes will be having intervention. It will just be some classes. It depends on the availability of teachers, so be on the lookout for our intervention that will be starting after school. Right now, we have a couple of assessments going on, just for you to know. The students are finishing up their DIBELS assessment, which is their reading and writing assessment. They also have been taking their STAR Math and ELA diagnostic assessment, as well as in the upcoming weeks. Some of my parents might be hearing from Ms. Palicio because they will be taking the LPAC assessment. So be on the lookout for that information that's coming, specifically on LPAC. I think we only have 24 to 25 students that will be taking that assessment. So that will be coming soon. And I did want to remind all of my parents that this year, students are taking the SBAC test in May. Next week, we will be having our SBAC meeting where we're going to get more information. So be on the lookout for information regarding that and the calendar dates that we will be giving that assessment. I think we'll start on the second week of on that. And as we start to come back to school, I just want to remind all of my parents, you know, this semester is going to be very important attendance to make sure that students are coming to school every day. Of course, if your child has symptoms, please make sure you're monitoring them, but we want to make sure that students are getting here every day and they're getting that learning in. Next slide, Miss Palicio. All right. All right. So what other kind of things are going on in the next couple weeks? I just wanted to make you all aware. One is all the students are getting dance right now. They're going to get it for the next 10 weeks. We're hoping that we can do a culminating dance video of all the classrooms like we did for the theater performance. We'll be on the lookout for that. Right now with attendance, because some of the kids being out, it is kind of difficult, but we're hoping that we can do like a mini performance, dance performance, so all the parents can see the skills that they are learning in dance. I also want to remind my parents that I am continuing a spring reading and math Zern challenge. So whenever children have free time at home on the weekends, you know, I always tell my students 20 minutes a day keeps college closer every day. And also for the Zern math challenge, we want to make sure that the students are able to finish all of the math modules. It's another really good way for them to get review of their math skills and strategies and concepts that they're learning in class. So you'll be hearing me reminding the kids about that. Also, I want to let my parents know, and probably this weekend I'll be posting it on Class Dojo as well. Due to the Omni surge right now and all of the numbers, we're going to be doing a little bit different celebration for Valentine's Day. Students will not be allowed to bring treats or cards for Valentine's Day, but we will be having our own school-wide Kindness Spirit Week, where we're going to be having spirit days every day. We're going to have activities for the kids at recess every single day, the week of the 7th through the 11th. And also I'll be giving little treats to the kids. They'll be learning about how to be kind to each other and others. And so we'll be doing a lot of fun stuff that week. So I just wanted to remind my parents, because a couple of them have already reached out. We're trying to stay away from all that right now while the surge is still going on. And I'll be posting all the activities that will be going on for Kindness Spirit Week as well. Also, we'll be having a Candygram, and we'll be doing the Sharing Brings Hope campaign. And this is all going to make more sense. Just be checking Class Dojo. I'm going to be posting everything for families on Class Dojo. You want to, next slide, Miss Palicio? Good. So we are having a pencilgram Valentine's for the 14th. So that'll be a safe way for everyone to give out Valentine treats to everyone. And then I just put the flyers up on our reading challenge and our math challenge to remind parents to make sure that we are dedicating some time whenever they have free time on their devices at home, when they don't have homework, or if you want to give them some extra time to review those math skills, these are good ways to do that. And also for African American History Month, we are having a poetry contest, so be on the lookout for that. Next week, the teachers should be sharing the poems for each grade level. It's going to be different poems, and there will be winners, and I'll be giving out gift cards to the class winners, and we're going to do a compilation video of all of our winners for our poem contest recitation. So that should be a lot of fun this upcoming month. These are some of the activities that we're going to be having. Next slide, Ms. Palicio. So some of the COVID reminders, I have been posting a lot of this on Class Dojo. And just to let you know, I want to thank all of my parents for being patient with me as it's been changing week to week. It's this morning I got more changes. So, and remember, Class Dojo is the way to get information. As I learn it, that's where I post it for all of my parents. So as you all know, this week we started with all of the students wearing surgical masks. They are allowed to wear N95s or higher if parents would like to purchase them. We are providing surgical masks for all of the students. So every morning, if a child does not, if they're just using a cloth mask, we're providing a surgical mask underneath as an extra layer of protection. So They'll be at both of the entrance gates for the next couple months. So no, that's probably one of the biggest ones, as well as, you know, this semester now, isolation now is 5 days. Students test with an antigen test on the 6th day. If they test negative, then they're allowed to come back. If not, they quarantine for the full 10 days and they come back on the 11th day. That is the biggest change in some of our protocols. And just be aware that now most of the notifications for positive cases will be coming through the Daily Pass as well as the parent portal. That's where you will be getting notifications of any positive cases at the school site. And like I said, the website that I shared earlier, COVID report card, LAUSD, you can always look us up by school to be able to get our count every single week. This month so far, it's every Wednesday that the students have been testing. So try to make sure that your child is here on Wednesday, as that is when the mobile unit is here. It looks like the district has decided to continue COVID testing through February. They were going to stop at the end of January, but they will continue it through February. And I will let you all know if they extend it even further. Now, also another change this week has been close contacts now. So in the school, the students that are isolating are the students that are positive, and there's no more close contacts in the school unless it is a family setting. So for example, if a mother or father, aunt or uncle or brother or sister get COVID, that's when a sibling who tests negative would be isolated. So it's a little bit different. And it really, close contacts now is only really with families or with our EEC classes, which is pre-K, which may be a little bit different. So these are some of the changes. Also this morning, this week and last week, they were going to Wilson High School for the antigen test for students that were positive. It actually changed. Starting next week, all positive cases that need to retest on the 5th day will now go to Solis High School to get their antigen test. And if they test negative, they can come back on the 6th day. El Sereno Middle School, it's going to stay the same. They will be providing antigen tests and PCR tests for non-symptomatic individuals. But remember that if your child is symptomatic, you would be going to Gage Middle School, and you would put that in the Daily Pass, and it'll direct you to Gage Middle School to get tested. So if you have questions about that, you're always free to call the office, and know that we are here to support you in that. As it's always changing too, it may change next week at some point. And know that community engagement does the final approval. So I always tell my parents, if you're able to generate a Daily Pass, then that means they've changed you in the system. It usually takes about a day or two after you've uploaded your negative results to be able to return to school. So keep on trying to do that Daily Pass. And like I said before, just make sure once or twice a day you're checking Daily Pass. I mean, not Daily Pass, Class Dojo, as that is how we're sharing the most up-to-date information on what is going on here at Sierra Vista. And I just wanna, we had really low numbers this week, and every week it's getting less and less. And so I'm really optimistic that that it's starting to kind of go away. So let's stay safe out there. And you know, you can always reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns, and you can always reach me via Class Dojo if you ever have questions about any of this. Next slide, Ms. Palicio. All right. And also, I just wanted to share with you, I posted it on Class Dojo. It's there. You can always look at it in our Sierra Vista feed. If you ever have questions about the isolation and more detail, symptoms, this little graphic, I wanted to share it. It's on Class Dojo. You can always go to it, and it gives you a little bit detailed information on what you need to know. And it's in English and in Spanish. Next slide, Ms. Palicio. And then this one is the one for quarantining, which is close contacts as well. But this one has changed now. So it's really only close contacts for family members. So this, as of last week, actually has changed. So I should have even taken it out of the slide, Ms. Felicio. So, but oh well. Okay, so, and with that, I want to thank everyone for being here. These are the most up-to-date information that's going on here at Sierra Vista. Before we move on to Ms. Palicio, any questions out there, parents? I know I got a couple out there. Any questions before we move on to Ms. Palicio? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
No, Miss Arias.
You're okay? All right, Ms. Veronica. All right. All right, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Ms. Palicio, who's gonna take over the meeting.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. And before I forget, I want to wish all of you a great weekend in case I forget to tell you later. So I just want to show you a quick review of the instructional program options that are offered through our district. So I am going to share them right now. So we have 4 programs that are offered to us. Let me see. That is the wrong slide, Ms. Felicio. No, here it is. There it is. Thank you. Okay, we have 4 programs in the district that your children are eligible for. We have the dual language 2-way immersion program. Tenemos el programa de lenguaje dual bidireccional. We don't have it available here at school, but if you're interested in that program for your child, we can give you we can refer you to schools that have that program. Si están interesados en este programa, no lo ofrecemos aquí en Sierra Vista, pero les podemos dar las referencias a las escuelas que sí lo ofrecen. Our next program is our dual language 1-way immersion program, also offered at other schools, and we would be more than happy to give you a reference. Tenemos el programa de lenguaje dual unidireccional. Si están interesados, les podemos dar una referencia para este programa. Our program that we do have here for English learners is the Language and Literacy in English Acceleration Program. It's designed for English learners. It's for students to learn the California Content Standards in English. And the goals are English and academic proficiency. El programa que sí ofrecemos aquí en la Escuela Sierra Vista es el programa de aceleración del lenguaje y la lectoescritura en inglés. Ese es el programa que sí ofrecemos aquí en Sierra Vista. And our last program that the district offers is Mainstream English Program. And it's designed for English speakers and English learners with reasonable fluency. El último programa que sí ofrecemos aquí, que es general, es el programa general de inglés para hablantes de inglés, aprendices de inglés con competencia razonable ya en inglés. And if you have any questions, please feel free. I can be more than happy to give you a pamphlet like this one. Si tienen preguntas, y estoy más que feliz en ofrecerles un folleto sobre los programas. And now back to our fun presentation here. Our next presenter is Mr. Romo. Let's get to him. And we went all the way back. My goodness. All right, Mr. Romo.
Great, thank you. Hello, parents.
Just let me know when you want me to
Yeah. Welcome, please. You can go ahead and click forward to the next page. Thank you, Ms. Felicio. And parents, this is an overview to let you know that in the process of students getting identified services, there are interventions that are provided for your children here at Sierra Vista Elementary School to provide interventions so that they can reach and access the general ed curriculum. And when that is not being successful, there are a variety of different options available. The first option is, and what the school site uses, is what's called the Student Success Progress Team.
Mr. Romo, do you want, Ms. Palicio, do you want to translate just real quick for him? Because I didn't even think about that when
You want to do it, Mr. Romo?
Oh, no, I could do it simultaneously.
Okay, all right,
Así es
go
que,
ahead. All right.
bienvenidos padres. Nada más les quería dejar saber que para los estudiantes aquí en la Escuela Sierra Vista se proporciona programas y servicios para los niños para que puedan tener logro académico en el área del desarrollo académico del estudio general que están recibiendo aquí en la escuela. Y por supuesto, hay intervenciones que están proveídas para todos los niños para ayudarles a lograr estas metas. A veces esto necesita algunos intermedios más intensivos cuando los niños están recibiendo varios tipos de intervenciones, pero no están respondiendo. Cuando esto sucede, hay en el programa general lo que se llama el equipo de logro académico o el SSPT. I'm going to translate now in English. So parents, when students are receiving interventions that are available to all general ed students and continue to be provided to them throughout the whole year, if they're not responding to that, there is the process of our student success and progress team format or meetings that are conducted in which parents and teachers of the student are brought together to design and monitor how the student is progressing, and if they're given targeted intervention to help them if they continue not getting access to the curriculum. Now, one of the things is after this progress monitoring is done, and it's done through cycles of 6 weeks, what happens thereafter is if the student still is not responding, then recommendations can be made for a recommendation into the services of special education, and then a assessment is then by the team recommended so that the student can receive services under, so that the student can be assessed to see if there is an eligibility or something within the realm of special education that is can help them to get access to the curriculum. And that's why I presented the following page that you see on screen. Así es que padres, lo que tenemos aquí presente con nosotros es el documento que se demuestra y se usa para estudiantes cuando se ha dado intervenciones a ellos que ellos están recibiendo en la escuela. Si se ve que no están respondiendo, se da unos asesoramientos a los niños, lo que se llama monitorizando el progreso académico del niño. Y el equipo de logro académico, la SSPT o el equipo de SSPT, da recomendación de que el niño todavía después de monitorizarlo por 6 semanas, no está respondiendo a las intervenciones y que a ese tiempo se está viendo si acaso hay intervenciones más intensivas necesarias para ellos y si se necesita que recomendar un asesoramiento para el programa de educación especial. So when that recommendation is made, parents, for special education assessment, it is done under the recommendation of the SSPT team having collected data that continued to show that the student is not meeting or accessing the general ed curriculum. At this point, an IEP is conducted, and then per parent approval, an IEP is conducted for the student. El tiempo que se ve que que el niño no está respondiendo a los intensivos intervenciones y le han monitorizado por esos 6 semanas y se está viendo que no está respondiendo a las intervenciones, a ese tiempo se visita si es necesario acoger el acuerdo de los padres para hacer un asesoramiento formal para educación especial. So at this point, parents, what you would be seeing is from that time that a recommendation is made for an assessment for the student, there's 60 days in which a variety of different team members do different assessments on the student. And in this case, you have a health report that's done, and that's done by our school nurse. And then you have a academic assessment, and that's done by our resource specialist teacher, which conducts assessments for the students in the area of academics, the reading, the math, language arts, and writing. And then also the most important component is there's what's conducted, which is called a psychoeducational assessment. And the psychoeducational assessment is conducted by a school psychologist, and that checks the cognitive ability of the student, or what's called general ability. And also their social emotional status, their language function, and their ability to, their social emotional status of how they interact with peers and how they interact with adults and teachers within the school setting. Así que, padres, el asesoramiento que se realiza para el estudiante se provee en las áreas de su salud, que un asesoramiento se lleva a cabo por la enfermera o enfermero, y se hace una entrevista y asesoramiento de encuesta aquí en la misma escuela de salud del niño. Y también se hace un asesoramiento académico hecho por nuestra maestra de recurso especial para ver cómo va el niño académicamente. Y luego se hace la importante y clave parte de lo que se llama el asesoramiento de las habilidades generales, que son las habilidades cognitivas que tiene el estudiante. Y este revisa la manera en que el niño procesa información que él ve o que él escuche. Y luego de allí se anota, después de 60 días o menos, se hace una invitación para venir a una junta donde se provea y se repasa la información que vemos aquí en esta pantalla. So at that time, parents are put on screen once those 60 days or even prior to those 60 days, there's a meeting scheduled for what's called the initial IEP. And from that IEP, at the minimum, these are the documents that are overviewed of the child when that meeting is met. And again, it's just basically the meeting and student information. And that's basically just the information for enrollment that you provided for us at the beginning of the year for your child. The second is their language acquisition goal achievement. This page is demonstrating what the students' goals and objectives will be if they are found to need supports and services and find if an eligibility is found for the student. The following is the present levels of performance. Basically, what this means is that the students' current status in regards to their academics, their health, and their social emotional status, all of those areas are presented to the parent. And then an eligibility is established, whether the student will be receiving services or not. If the student does receive services, then we move into writing up goals and objectives in the areas of need that the child has. And those are placed into the IEP in that part of the document. And then also if the student needs any accommodations for any type of statewide testing, that's done on our section K. Page 9, again, on this page, we just discuss how this document of what's on screen will be provided to the parent. And then on 10, again, the parent again is the individual making the educational decisions for the child, and at this time will either agree to the proposed plan for the child or disagreement to that plan or to any parts therein. And then lastly, names and signatures. Here you'll be putting your name and the names of all the participants that would be there, which is basically our school teacher, our school psychologist, our school special education teacher, and sometimes one of our related service providers, which might be our speech and language teacher or an adaptive physical education teacher. Then there's the component of the free and appropriate public education component and our free and appropriate public education component too. And these are two components that would be overviewed with the parents if the child is found with an eligibility. And then the FAPE summary grid basically overviews what that setting would look like for the child. Y brevemente, padres, nada más, las páginas que se verán en una IP serían lo siguiente, que ellos tendrán la información del estudiante de su matriculación y luego se hablará de sus presentes normas de desarrollo, cómo ellos van en su salud, del asesoramiento que se hizo por el enfermero, cómo ellos están haciendo académicamente, y eso será basado en los asesoramientos que hizo la maestra de recurso especial o de educación especial, y luego los asesoramientos que hizo la psicóloga, que son todos asesoramientos cognitivos. Y si el niño, a ese tiempo se establecería si el estudiante sí requiere servicios de educación especial y si es elegible y en qué rango caerá de estos servicios al alumno. Y de ahí se hablará de las metas que tendría para llegar a sus metas y cómo tendrá diferentes estrategias para ayudarle a coger acceso al currículo. Y luego el permiso del padre está en la página para proveer eso. Y finalmente, si está proveído esos servicios, se hablaría de dónde los recibirá el niño y en qué medio ambiente. Y otra vez, nada más muchas veces hay ese misterio, compadres, después de una junta de SSPT, ¿qué es lo que ocurre? Y eso es el siguiente paso. Si un estudiante se está viendo que no está respondiendo a las intervenciones de los programas de intervención y los programas generales que se proveen en el medio ambiente escolar general del estudiante. So lastly, parents, this overview that I've given is just so you could know what the next area of intervention or more comprehensive interventions are provided when and if a student is not responding to interventions that are available to them within the general ed setting, given by interventions after school, for example, and other type, and also within the school setting, there's interventions that are provided for the students. If those are interventions that the students are not responding to, again, the SSPT, Student Success Progress Team, is the next level or layer of supports that are provided for the student to see if they respond and begin accessing the curriculum, the general ed curriculum, through those. And if not, then we move into looking and establishing whether there might be an eligibility for the student to be discovered through an assessment of an IEP for the student. And these are the components that I've overviewed with you today that would be done. But again, at any time and in the future, if you have any questions, feel free to ask for me, Mr. Roman, here at the school site. And I can go ahead and overview any particular components of the test and assessments in that process. And again, I thank you for giving me this time to be able to share this information with you. I know it's very comprehensive, quite a bit, but I do appreciate you sharing this time with me to share this important aspect of supports that you have available to you. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Arias.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today and getting a little bit of overview of information. Do we have any questions before we end our session today?
¿Hay preguntas?
Preguntas?
No,
No.
por mí no.
No.
Okay, gracias.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Gracias.
for being here today. And then, yeah, you know, we're here. Any questions? You can reach out to Mr. Romo for special ed, Miss Palicio for Title I EL. Any questions you have? And then I'm here as well. Right now, everybody has questions about COVID, so they're always calling me about that. But know that we're here to serve you in whatever you need. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Gracias.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Bye.
Have a good
weekend.
weekend.
Bye, Sierra Vista Eagles.